Over the past year, despite much of the manufactured controversy surrounding the creator J.K. Rowling, the Harry Potter franchise has proven once again that it is still one of the most powerful and dominant franchises in the entertainment industry. The success of Hogwarts Legacy, the massive lines everywhere at Universal Studios and Harry Potter Land, the increased book sales, Harry Potter is just as popular as ever. And we found out last year that Warner Brothers wants to continue to capitalize on that with the announcement of the Harry Potter TV series set to debut on Max. And now we officially have a year, at least the year that they're looking at. Harry Potter TV show is aiming to release in 2026. And honestly, that kind of makes sense based on what we've heard, based on the fact that they're looking at a variety of writers and showrunners to figure out the path forward for this before they worry about any type of casting for this series. And we did get this. This came from the Warner Brothers Discovery quarterly earnings report. They started answering questions about what to expect when it came to the Harry Potter show. Harry Potter TV series targeted for 2026 premiere on Max. J.K. Rowling recently met with studio execs to discuss show. And that is one thing. They are being very upfront and very clear about the fact they're working hand in hand with J.K. Rowling throughout this entire thing. They're not shying away from it. And I think that's important because despite some of the Twitter attention, social media attention, the reality is that 99.9% of the people in the world probably agree with J.K. Rowling's view on biology, that biology actually does exist. And it's been clear that that has no effect whatsoever on the actual popularity of this franchise. Now, when it comes to this show, I've said multiple times, I am going to be looking forward to this. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be optimistic until they give me a reason not to be. And really, that's going to be when the casting comes out, I think. Unless they hire a writer or something that I think is horrific or whatever, we're going to know when the casting comes out, I think, what to really feel about this series. If they're going to stay true to the story that was told in the books, or if they're going to try to go completely off the rails. For myself, who really likes a lot of the movies, I want to see it done the right way. I want to see these books done the right way. And that to me has always been, a 10 to 12 episode season on a streaming service like HBO Max. Well, renamed Max now. I think that's the best way to tell the story in its entirety. So much got left out of the books, and obviously so for the movies. You can't tell a 14, 15, 16 hour or plus story over the span of a 2-hour movie. It's difficult to do those adaptations. I think in general, there were some pretty good adaptations. Some were better than others when it came to the movies, but a lot of those characters, a lot of those actors are so beloved by people, it's hard to imagine them doing a show and recasting some of these characters. But I, as someone who loves the Harry Potter series, I'm still optimistic about it, at least for now. But here's what we heard earlier today. The first installment of the Harry Potter series is targeted to hit the Max streaming service in 2026. Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav said, the series is expected to span 7 seasons, adapting each book in J.K. Rowling's best-selling fantasy series. We've not been shy about our excitement around Harry Potter, Zaslav told analysts, noting the last film in the series was made more than a dozen years ago. That's hard to imagine at this point. Zaslav said he was in London a few weeks ago with HBO and Max content boss Casey Bloys and Channing Dungey, chairperson of Warner Brothers Television, to meet with author J.K. Rowling about the show. Quote, we spent some time with J.K. and her team. Both sides are just thrilled to be reigniting this franchise. Our conversations were great, and we couldn't be more excited about what's ahead. We can't wait to share a decade of stories with fans around the world on Max. And we did hear a week or two ago that they were talking to a lot of different writers. They were listening to pitches, things like that. As announced last year, each season of the decade-long series will be based on one of the books from the franchise. Quote, we're in conversation with a number of different writers to figure out who's going to be the person to lead that franchise for us. The first step is figuring out who the showrunner is going to be. Once we get that locked down, we can start having those casting conversations. It's going to be important because you're committing to basically a decade. And I think it was a marvel, to be honest, what we saw, as many characters saw it through to the end as they did when it came to the Harry Potter film series. I hope we get that same type of success for the TV show. Certainly, anything that gets made in current day, there's reason to be skeptical of it, and I get that. I'm trying to stay positive about this because if it's done right, it could be one of the biggest things we've ever seen, one of the most awesome, incredible things we've ever seen, especially if you're Harry Potter fans. If it's done wrong, there's going to be a lot of people that have major, major complaints. What do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.